Good everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome to another episode of 10 p.m. University. So today's topic is a bit different. It's a bit about leadership. I won't be talking anything about health today. So today's topic is about 5 habits of successful people. Right? You might have heard about different personalities, right? Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Barack Obama, Nelson Mandela, right? So you don't actually have to, look at those people, right? You might already know a few successful people in your life, right? It could be a father, it could be your coworker, it could be a friend, it could be your partner, it could be anyone, right? Because the world is surrounded with, or in other words, the world is full of successful people, right? It's just that you need to look for it. So there are a common trait among successful people, right? The common habits which a successful person share with another successful person, which I would like to share with you today, right? So stay with me. It's gonna get more interesting, and it will give you a chance to reflect on your life after I finish the video. So before you go to bed tonight, think about it for a second, right? Whether you can do any of these changes in your life if you wanted to be successful. So one disclaimer I just wanted to make: I don't mean money when I talk about successful people. Success means different to different person, right? It could mean a happy family life. It could mean better health. For some, it means a lot of money. So it means different to different person. So whatever the success means to you, right? So think from that perspective. Are you doing these things in your life? Is it working out for you? If it's not, then perhaps it's a time to revisit the things you're doing in your life, right? Maybe do small change and see how it goes, right? Okay, so the point number one, successful people read a lot. You might you might even read about Bill Gates, book club. He recommends a few books every time of the year, right? Often during summertime or during winter time, right? So and Warren Buffett's, if you ever had a chance to listen to his interview, you might have seen he loves to read. He loves to read every day. It could be newspaper, it could be journal, it could be whatever it is, right? Elon Musk read a lot. Barack Obama once said he loves to read a lot. All successful people loves to read. You know why it's very important? Because you won't get every information from TV sometimes, right? Or you won't know every stuff out there in the world. So the best way you can update yourself is by reading a book, right? Let's say if you're someone, right, who has no idea of investment, the best way you can look into investment by reading book about investment, probably talking to someone who knows about investment. So before you even go and talk to that person, you need to do your homework, right? The best way you can do your homework by reading about investment, right? It's like you come to me and say, look, I wanted to know about investment. The first question I will ask, what do you know about investment at first place? If you say, look, I don't even know what that means, then I would say, can you go and read and find out about it, right? So reading will teach you a lot of things. You can read whatever you want. You can read about history. You can read about, philosophy. You can read about, fiction. You can read about anything, autobiography, whatever works for you, go for it, right? If you're someone who never likes to read, that's fine. You can try audiobooks, right? They're another source of information. I love to listen to audiobooks. You can get audiobooks from everywhere. There are a lot of sources out there, so please check it out. All you need to do is to do a Google search, right? Right. So reading is very important. So reading will differentiate you from the rest of the crowd because you will have that extra information which another person may not have, right? Like I was reading. When I was reading Intelligent Investor, right? Warren Buffett said that when he was young, he was 19, he had an opportunity to read that book. And it changed his life. Actually, when I read about it, first time I didn't quite understood, right? Because I'm not an investor, but, a few years ago. I invest now, so I understand investment better. So I have to read that book 3-4 times to get what Graham was trying to say. That being said, I've been consistent, so I get to know a lot of information about investment. So how did I manage to do that? By reading, right? Cool. Right. So the point number two, right? The smart people always surround themselves with smart people, right? A successful person never assumes he's the smartest person in the team. He never ever assumes it, because the day he or she assumes that, the day that person loses their edge. What I meant by that is that if you assume that you're the smartest person in the team, then you will stop learning new things, right? When you stop learning new things, then you will stop growing. When you stop growing, you won't be successful, right? And some people have so much of ego, they think, oh, they know everything. And that's where those people are left out in the crowd. And the people who are humble, and they think that they're not the smartest person, and they think that there is an opportunity for them to learn from others, they're the one who stand out, they're the one who get successful, right? All right, so think about it. So if you think yourself smarter than rest of the team, then think about it for a second, right? Is it really working out for you? Are you learning anything new every day? If not, then you need to surround yourself with better people, right? You need to surround yourself with someone who is more smarter than you. That will actually pay off in the long run. Okay, point number three. The successful people, they act despite fear. So every human being on this planet or on the solar system, right? You might have heard me talking about solar system. I wanted to include the people who work in the space station as well. So that's why I often talk about solar system, right? So let's stick to solar system. So humans live outside Earth as well, human beings, right? Okay. So every human beings, right, on the solar system, they have this emotions of fear, right? Because fear stops us from doing dangerous stuff. But successful people know that it's good to act, right, on certain things. Let's say you have a business idea, right, and you wanted to act on it, but many times you had this inner voice, right, saying, oh, no, no, don't do this, you will fail, right? In spite of that, many people decide to go for it because they wanted to find out how soon they can fail, right, rather than waiting 10 years to find out whether the ideas really worked or not, right? So successful people always act despite the fear they have about the failure, right? So that's one of the qualities that separates them from the rest of the crowd. So if you look at the life of a successful person and an unsuccessful person always have an excuse for not doing things, right? Whereas a successful person, they don't care. Let's say you wanted to start a YouTube, a very simple example, right? So that everyone can relate. If you're someone who wanted to start a YouTube blog or YouTube video or write a blog, right? If you always think, right, look, what will people think about my video? What will people think about my video? So I don't want to start it. You will never be able to start it. I mean, whereas the person who doesn't care, he said, look, what worse people can do? Yeah, your video is crap, right? But at least you will find out what are the things you can improve next time, right? So that's the difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person. So because it's the habits that defines how successful you are, right? Again, as I said, success don't always mean money, right? It means a satisfaction. You should feel in yourself, within yourself, that whether you're successful or not. The day you feel you are, that means you are, right? Irrespective of the money or whatever you think success means to you. Cool. The next point is the time management, right? Successful people are good in managing time. Right? They never say, look, I don't have time to do this, I don't have time to do that. I often hear people telling, oh, look, I don't have time, I'm so busy, I'm busy being busy, I can't do this. Let me tell you one very simple thing. In a day, you got 24 hours. Okay, let's do a simple maths, right? Very simple maths. And then we'll see whether you really have time or not, right? Let's say you sleep 8 hours a day, right? Let's say 8 hours, right? Good case scenario. And then you work 8 hours a day. So out of 24, 16, you take 16 out. So now you're left with another 8 hours, right? And let's say you work out an hour, right? So that leaves you 17 hours now. And then 7 hours. And then you decide to read, that's an hour. So you read, so that means you're left with 6 hours. Let's say you eat and, do whatever you want, your stuff, an hour for that, right? So that leaves you 5 hours. So you got 5 hours to spend with your loved ones or do whatever you want, right? And now think about it. You have time to do whatever you want in that hour. which I already mentioned, right? And then rest of the, so you need to know how to manage your time, right? That's very important. So most of the people don't know how to manage their time. Think about this one. Let me give you a very classic example, right? You got, let's say you got 30 years left to live, right? So 30 years will be close to 268,000 hours, right? Right? So it's not even a million, half a million. So you got that much time left. And every day you're taking 24 hours from that. So would you be comfortable spending time on useless things which makes no sense to your life? Or instead you should be focusing on things which makes you happy at the end of the day and brings the value into your life. And many people say, I don't have time for workout. Really? I mean, if a person who works 16 hours a day can find a time to work out, and why can't you? I mean, some people. I give big credits to people, who do long work and who has a very long day and still manage to find time to do the things they want. I mean, they are my real inspiration, right? Because they know how to manage their time. They understood that time is a precious currency you got in your life, right? You need to put your time, you need to value your time. If you are someone who's struggling with time management, I would encourage you to look at your day schedule or daily schedule, right? Write down in the morning what you wanted to do, right? Stick to it. If you think you can't stick to it, then alter your time in the schedule in such a way, right? So that whatever you wanted to do can fit in that time, right? Because I've seen a lot of people waste so much of hours on Facebook and chit-chatting, and they still think, oh, I don't have time, right? Well, there you go. You know the answer where you're wasting your time, right? If you try to reduce those activity and then invest in somewhere else, then you will get time, right? It's all about your priorities in life. I can't suggest you what you should do, right? You are all grown ups out there. You know what you're doing. It's your life. So because that's why, when someone comes to me and says, I don't have time, I often tell you need to look at your schedule. There is no excuse that you can say you don't have time. We get enough time once we die in a graveyard. You can do all you want in a graveyard. You're going to sleep whole till life's time or whatever, Right. So that's what differentiates successful people from a non-successful person, right? Because successful person know how to manage the time. And that's what makes them extremely successful because they use the time very, very, very wisely, right? Think about it before you go to sleep. Are you using your time wisely, right? Have you invested your time properly today? If not, can you do something about it tomorrow? Can you make a small change? I'm not asking you to say, oh, look, next day you wake up, I'm going to do a drastic change. No, I'm not saying, I'm saying start with the baby step, right? Let's try to make small changes and then be consistent with those changes, right? And consistency is very, very, very important if you want to be successful. It shouldn't be like you do for 30 days, then, go back to old habits. No, if you wanted to make a change, make it change for life. Be consistent, right? Okay, cool. The successful people has a positive attitude. I mean, they are different from naysayers. Naysayers always say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, I will do this, I will do that, I will fail this way, yada, 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 yada. They always have excuse for not doing things, right? Always have bad attitude. They, oh, I can't do this, I'm a victim of society, I can't do this, I can tell you one very simple example. COVID, right? Many people in COVID will say, oh, look, this COVID sucks. From a health perspective, yes, it does suck. But I'm talking about this, oh, my life is going to change. But on the other hand, the successful person look at COVID as an opportunity to learn something new, right? Many people have started working from home. Some people look at it as an opportunity to spend time with their family. Some people look at an opportunity to do extra stuff. Some people don't have to commute. Some people, if you're someone who has a positive attitude, you will find good in everything, right? And please stay out from naysayers. Naysayers are good for, they're not doing good to anyone. I mean, if they wanted to live their life being a naysayer, that's fine. If you think your partners or mate is a naysayer, but you need to reach out to them. So look, it's not working out for you, and maybe they need to change you. You need to negotiate, with someone very close to you. I'm not saying to walk away from them. That's not exactly what I'm saying. Please don't take this as an advice saying, oh, yeah, this guy said that, oh, my partner is a naysayer. All right, I'm going to say goodbye to her. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if someone is naysayer, if someone is very close to you, you need to sit with that person and say, look, hon, this is what I wanted to do, right? And this behavior of this, whatever, this behavior, what we bring in our conversation is not really helping out as much. Can we change it to something else, right? Can we give it a try at least, right? Are we open enough for a change, right? Because change is consistent, right? So, attitude, the skills can be taught. It's the attitude that's really important. You can be extremely talented person, but if your attitude sucks, I mean, I would not like to work with you. As simple as that. Because I will never like to hire somebody whose attitude sucks. Because if you have a positive attitude, you can learn any skill, right? I mean, I don't care about the skill set, right? That can be taught. But if you're someone who have a very, 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 very bad attitude, I'm sorry, please don't come and work for me. That's my attitude. Because I want someone who has an attitude, who has a positive attitude, at least appreciate the things around that person, right? At least give a try once, rather than saying, no, I can't do it. That sucks, that attitude, right? I don't appreciate that attitude. I mean, it's okay if someone comes to me and says, look, I don't know this thing. That's fine. It's perfectly fine. I mean, we don't know everything, right? I mean, skill can be taught, right? You can go to the person, look, I'm happy to teach you. Are you willing to learn at first place? If the person says, absolutely. And even you get, motivated to teach that person, right? And teach, I mean. So yeah, it's very good to have a positive attitude if you want to be successful, because time can get tough in your life. You might get knocked off in your life because of failure. But if you don't have a positive attitude, if you don't have a passion towards positive attitude, you will experience extremely pain in your life, right? So that's all I wanted to cover today. I hope you guys find this session valuable. The reason why I wanted to bring this topic, because we are talented race. As a human being, we have potential. Everyone has potential, right? That's the irony. Everyone born on the solar system is equally talented. But in spite of that, only few people are successful. You might even wonder why, right? Because those people who are successful, they knew the art of being successful, right? It's all in your habits. If you are willing to change your habits, trust me, you will be the most successful person in the solar system. I'm telling you, the most successful person in the solar system, right? So try out, do a small change a day, right? I mean, if you think that if fear is holding you from doing certain things, try to, expand your bubble a bit, I'm not saying you need to expand it completely, the first day. You might find that very difficult. I understand that. It's a human psychology. So try doing baby step at a time, and please be consistent with it, right? And appreciate your life, stay healthy, always smile and look after people around you, spread love, spread awareness. We need a amazing world, right? So that's all for today, guys. One more thing before I end this today's session. If you like my channel, please subscribe. So I can bring out new 10 p.m. stuff. And if you remember, in my previous session, I talked about bringing a different topics, right? Like a week full of health topics, week full of mathematics, week full of history, because so that I wanted to educate people more on different stuff, right? And at the same time, have fun, right? I mean, we can't be serious every time in our life, right? And I do have Instagram as well if you wanted to follow. I normally put 10 p.m. university videos, right? If you're someone who uses Instagram, right? So if you wanted to watch all the videos, I put it there. You can watch it on your tablet or wherever you want, right? Spread the message, spread the love, spread the awareness. So adios from New Zealand. Have a good evening. Take care. Bye-bye.